Hello there. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday. I'm Otto Othman and these are tonight's top stories. Wreckage of SUV that plunged into the sea found. Man causes stir as he leaps off bridge on live stream. And PM says nuclear power would not be Malaysia's source of energy. We begin the bulletin with this story. The vehicle that fell off the Penang Bridge has finally been retrieved, with the driver still inside. The SUV had been driven by 20-year-old college student Moy Yun Peng. Rescue personnel started the actual operation to hoist the 1.5-ton car out of the water at about 5:45 p.m. today. They took about 20 minutes to bring it up onto the bridge itself. The wreckage was submerged at a depth of 15 meters, about 15 meters away from where it went over the barrier. It was found at 4 p.m. yesterday, but efforts to bring up the car failed due to strong currents and low visibility. The body was sent to the Seberang Jaya Hospital for post-mortem. Meanwhile, police have recorded statements from 8 individuals on the accident. Seberang Perai Tengah District Police Chief ACP Nik Ros Azhan Nik Abdul Hamid, however, said they have not done so with the Toyota Vios driver, as he is still receiving treatment at the hospital. He added the investigation team would also be taking down the statement of another witness who recorded the crash on Sunday. Based on the police probe, friends of the SUV victim testified that he was alone in the vehicle, while the Toyota Vios driver, who is receiving treatment at a private hospital, is reported to be stable. The 21-year-old man, who is a hairstylist, had tested positive for cannabis in an earlier drug screening test. Plus Malaysia Berhad Plus will propose that the government install speed cameras on the Penang Bridge to ensure motorists abide by the set speed limit. Its managing director, Dato' Azman Ismail, said at the moment the bridge is only installed with closed-circuit television, CCTV, to monitor traffic flow.
Proposal yang kami ada adalah untuk lokasi yang lain selain daripada Jabatan Pulau Pinang. Kami telah buat proposal kepada pihak enforcement agencies for installation of additional cameras. So now we're going to add on additional cameras in our proposal for Jabatan Pulau Pinang.
Speaking at a media conference after the launch of Op Selamat 14 at the Seremban R&R earlier today, he added that Plus will also look into the 80 km/h speed limit currently set on the Penang Bridge. When asked about the need to upgrade the bridge guardrails to avoid vehicles from falling over into the sea, he said the guardrails in place are already according to international specifications. However, Plus will study the need to upgrade the guardrails based on accident reports issued by the authorities. Now, let's take a look back at how the Mazda CX5 SUV plunged off the Penang Bridge in the wee hours on Sunday. Shafiqa Razali gives the breakdown on the shocking incident.
January 20th was just like any other Sunday morning at the Penang Bridge. There were very few vehicles plying the 13.5-kilometer-long dual carriageway toll bridge. However, no one could have predicted that around 2:45 a.m. a terrible crash is about to unfold at kilometer 4 of the highway. It all began when the Mazda CX5, driven by a 20-year-old student, Moy Yun Peng, was travelling on the right lane of the bridge, heading towards Perai from the island. Suddenly, a black Toyota Vios car travelling at a high speed and trailing closely behind the SUV skidded out of control and slammed into the rear of the Mazda. Strong impact caused the SUV to flip over and rolled on its side before falling over the bridge's guardrail and into the sea. Dashboard camera footage of the horrific moments that led to the crash until the SUV disappeared from view also went viral on social media the same day of the accident. Hours later, another video taken from a CCTV camera on the bridge went viral, in which the SUV could be seen plunging into the water, creating a huge splash. Over 100 personnel were deployed in the search and rescue operation, which involved over a dozen search vessels and divers.
Now, footage of a man leaping off the Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Bridge in Penang this morning has gone viral. This is the second drama to occur on the Penang Bridge in just 3 days. The man was seen standing on the ledge of the guardrail before waving and jumping backwards. Southwest District Police Chief Superintendent A.A. Anbalagan said the 33-year-old man was believed to have driven to the bridge, parked by the side of the road, before leaping off. Luckily, he was rescued by a fisherman and was handed over to the Marine Police before being sent to the Penang Hospital for further treatment. His condition is reported to be stable. Police investigation found that the man had an argument with his wife, who had asked for a divorce. 34 people were injured after a sudden firecracker explosion occurred near the Sri Subramaniam temple in Batu Caves last night. Following the incident, 3 men have been remanded for 4 days to assist in the investigation. Gombak District Police Chief ACP Samsul Marov said a 23-year-old suspect was apprehended immediately after the incident. Another individual, aged 28, was arrested sometime later, while the third suspect was picked up by police shortly after the first 2 arrests. The suspects had allegedly let off the firecrackers to celebrate Thaipusam without permission and a police permit. 6 of the injured were sent to hospital, while 28 others received treatment at a clinic in Batu Caves. 3 vehicles parked nearby were also damaged in the incident. The case is being probed under the Penal Code for negligent conduct with respect to any explosive conduct. Selangor police have crippled a burglary gang which has been active around Sungai Buloh, with the arrest of 5 of its members in a raid last January 14th. The gang is believed to have been involved in at least 11 burglary cases in Saujana Utama and 1 in Kuang. Police said the gang's activities came to light when they broke into a house in Taman Kuang Raya last Monday and fled with items from the house valued at 10,000 ringgit. It was reported that all 5 suspects were detained and all stolen items have been recovered. An initial probe revealed that the mastermind has 17 criminal records, including 10 related to drugs. Police also confiscated a rented car believed to have been used for their activities. Motorists found to have committed 6 major offences during the Op Selamat 14 in conjunction with the Chinese New Year will be slapped with 300 ringgit summon immediately. According to Deputy Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Nur Rashid Ibrahim, the stern action is to educate and ensure the safety of road users.
Kita nak mendidik ni, ada yang kita mendidik secara nasihat, kita nasihat, kempen dan sebagainya. Tapi ada yang nak panggil apa ni, yang tak makan nasihat ini. So pilihan yang ada pada kita adalah untuk mengambil tindakan undang-undang.
He said this after launching the Op Selamat 14 at the Seremban RNR today. The offences include driving on the emergency lane, speeding and jumping queue, as well as overtaking on the double line, beating the traffic lights and using communication devices while driving. The operation will kick off on January 29th and ends on February 12th. At the same event, Tan Sri Nur Rashid said the emergency lane at 2 critical locations may be opened to motorists of the North-South Expressway to reduce traffic congestion during this Chinese New Year. He said the locations are southbound routes between Simpang Pulau to Gopeng and northbound route between Slim River and Sungkai. Now, according to Tan Sri Nur Rashid, the move to open the emergency lane was made following a request by the expressway operator Plus.
Kita akan tempat anggota kita Sebab saya rasa tempat yang dibuka di emergency lane ini adalah kawasan yang telah dikaji kesesakan yang teruk berlaku. Maka kalau dengan membukanya laluan kecemasan itu dapat melancarkan aliran trafik, itu tak ada masalah. Kita buka dan kita kawal.
Focus is also given to 6 main offences, including speeding, driving on the emergency lane, and overtaking on the double line. The operation is jointly conducted with highway concessionaires and relevant agencies. Plus expects traffic volume to increase to 1.9 million users during peak times between January 31st and February 10th. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said Malaysia would not accept nuclear power as a source of energy, as long as scientists have yet to find solutions to their waste and radiation effects. The Prime Minister stressed this despite the fact that the government wanted to provide affordable energy for the people. When responding to questions at a dialogue session with Malaysians living in Austria and Slovakia in Vienna last night, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the waste generated by nuclear power was dangerous and trying to get rid of it would be a problem.
That is because up to now, science have not managed to reverse the process. You can activate the material to function, have radiation, but to reverse the process, up to now they have not found any way. So until then, we will not accept nuclear power plants.
According to the Premier, Malaysia's experience in managing amang, the hazardous waste from tin ore, should be made a lesson. The derivative product was exported to Japan at one time for the production of colour television.
Colour television. But now colour television is all about LED. They don't use that material anymore. But the material has been irradiated and is dangerous. So we had a long argument with the Japanese company. Eventually we had to reserve 1 square mile of land to bury the waste.
About 100 Malaysians attended the dialogue, which also included embassy staff. Also present were the Prime Minister's wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma Muhammad Ali, and Deputy Foreign Minister, Datuk Marzuki Yahya. More after the break. Chinese principal shows how to let loose. Details next. Thank you for staying with us. Police have received more requests from Malaysians stranded in Syria in connection with the Daesh movement to help them to return to Malaysia. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun said the request came after police rescued 3 family members of the terrorist group and brought them back safely to Malaysia on October 6 last year.
Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi was asked to comment on reports of 3 more Daesh-linked Malaysian families who had sought police's assistance in the matter. It was reported that the process of bringing the mother, known only as Aisha, and her 2 children, aged 2 and 5, back to Malaysia took nearly a month.
Setakat ni kita pun ada menerima permohonan daripada keluarga yang terlibat. Tetapi respon daripada mereka yang berada di Syria tu tidak begitu jelas lagi. Jadi proses untuk kita membantu ni adalah proses yang berterusan. Bukan Aisyah yang dengan anak dia 2 orang tu aja. Tapi yang lain-lain pun kalau mereka meminta bantuan, kita akan cuba bawa mereka pulang. Tapi untuk membawa mereka pulang ni kita perlukan kerjasama daripada pasukan sahabat, khususnya pihak berkuasa Turki, yang mana laluan keluar masuk mereka ini adalah melalui Turki.
The top cop said police would need to establish the locations of the Malaysians stranded in Syria before a mission to bring them home can be carried out. He said these family members are not directly involved with terrorist groups' movement and were merely following their husbands or fathers.
Police have received 21 reports on various offences since nomination day for the Cameron Highlands parliamentary by-election. State Deputy Police Chief DCP Datuk Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri said the reports include a scuffle involving a deputy minister which broke out in Pos Lenjang in Kuala Lipis, Pahang.
Sekarang kita telah menerima 21 report polis dan kita sedang menjalankan siasatan dan kita refer kepada SPR dan juga kepada pihak SPM.
The Deputy Minister had allegedly used a Pahang government vehicle to campaign in the Cameron Highlands by-election. The incident was captured in a video which then went viral on social media recently. Pahang State Secretary Datuk Sri Dr. Salihuddin Ishak said the vehicle was loaned by the State Forestry Department to a Deputy Minister for official use and had instructed for its return. Welcome back. Now let's head over to Clickbait on what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Now, the broadcast calisthenics routine, a type of exercise meant to keep the body fit and healthy, has been a requirement across all schools in China since 1951. In keeping the tradition and routine alive, government inspectors would occasionally conduct checks every morning. But 40-year-old Principal Zhang Pengfei thought it was time for change, and he shuffled his way through to prove it.
Zhang led his over 700 pupils through an energetic shuffle dance routine, defying the government's orders and the 68-year-old tradition. The video of the shuffle, dubbed the Guibu or Ghost Steps, went viral on the net, with one clip of the dance on Facebook garnering over 7 million views on the day of its upload. Zhang says half of the teachers at the school had opposed the idea when he first launched it in November, but 2 weeks later, here they are joining him, moving to the beat. Netizens, especially in China, fear that Zhang might lose his job over the changes, while others, especially students, were fascinated with the break from the norm.
Now, updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. The fashion industry is one of the biggest contributors to environmental degradation through carbon emissions, chemical usage and water consumption, as well as pollution. On realizing this, a group of students decided to initiate a program known as Upcycle Creation, recovery of synthetic fabrics, to help reduce the impact on Mother Earth by sprucing up old or worn-out clothes into awesome new pieces. Several studies have found that synthetic fabric such as spandex, polyester and lycra takes hundreds of years to decompose. Every year, more than 80,000 clothes are produced, making the fashion industry one of the world's most polluting industries. Because of this, the program, which is in the brainchild of Faculty of Arts and Culture final year students from the National Arts, Culture and Heritage Academy, Aswara, was created in collaboration with Alam Flora and the National Textile Museum in Kuala Lumpur. There are 3 components to the program, which include a Bring It, Change It, Save It DIY workshop, an exhibition and innovation display.
Apa itu upcycle? Sebab kita tak diberi pendedahan mengenai upcycle. Kita tahu selama ni kita semula saja. Tapi rupa-rupanya bezanya kita semula dengan upcycle, kita semula dia kena leburkan dulu produk itu. Iaitu menggunakan mesin yang dihaskan di kilang ya. Upcycle pula kita boleh buat di rumah.
Bengkel DIY ya, di mana peserta perlu bawa baju dia sendiri dan mereka ubah menjadi satu creation yang baru. Macam contohnya baju diubah menjadi beg tangan dan sebagainya.
The program, which ran for 5 days, is a good platform to spread the word to society about the right way to dispose of synthetic fabric. This also can help avoid synthetic fabric from being tossed to a landfill. A classical theatre performance based on the life of Putri Sadong, who evolved from a naughty princess to an elegant queen, is heading to Holstebro, Denmark. The Malaysian drama, a contemporary theatre piece in terms of form and language, will be the first in NTL or Nordisk Theatre Laboratorium. Now, the European premiere at the International Theatre Festival will kick off this January 31st until February 4th.
Puteri Saadong is a tale set on the early life of a legendary Kelantanese princess and how she became a sophisticated woman and leader. Ultimately, anger against her husband led to a moment of madness and murder. A mythical story told in an intense 55-minute performance presented by Masakini Theatre Company features Sabira Shaikh, who plays the 15th century royalty. The show, apart from using traditional elements such as music and costumes made with specially woven songket, also has Matyong incantations as well as the haunting melodies of rabab.
2 years to write the script because I had to research this work, and I had to go to Kelantan several times to research, and I went and asked all Kelantanese orang seni about Puteri Saadong, and some people told me that, oh, she was a very naughty little girl and all that sort of thing. So I incorporated all that I heard and read and researched into this role.
Then I also combined a few other musical instruments that we use. Minimalism, but actually the instrument represents example of wayang kulit. We have a serunai silat just now, and then we have a diki barat, liman, and also we have the gambus in ghazal that I use as a taksim.
The production, performed in the after-dinner theatre at the Studio Ramli Hassan Space in Kuala Lumpur, was organised partly as a fundraising initiative for the European premiere at the Odin Teatret in Denmark. The show's debut at the Theatre Festival, which will involve participants from Taiwan, Italy and Brazil, will come full circle in a way, as Puteri Saadong was originally directed by Tay Larson from Theatre Laboratorium.
And that's our people.